All right, everybody. Welcome back to the Dane Wayne Show after a week hiatus.
Yeah, week hiatus. What is this, Wayne? Episode number 10?
10. We're in double digits.
Nice. The feedback's been excellent.
Yes.
Fans and friends, everybody's reaching out to us, telling us, thankful, doing a great job. How are you feeling this evening? It's Halloween.
We just came off of trick-or-treating with our kids. We just walked around a whole neighborhood.
I think we did about 4 or 5 miles walk, somewhere around there.
Felt like it.
Okay.
Even if it was probably one.
Lower back feels slightly sore. I'm stretching.
So yeah. Kids are on a sugar high. Put them to bed. Now we're recording. And
there's a Thursday night football game on. It's the Texans and the Jets. We don't really care. Yeah. But yeah, we're just coming off a trick-or-treating. Yeah. So episode number 10. We're feeling excited. What's on the table this evening, Wayne?
Well, there's a really good Birds win on Sunday.
Yes.
Probably the best win of the season by far. Most complete win.
Offense, defense, special teams, took care of the business.
Yep.
Went up to Cincinnati and did what they were supposed to do. How are we feeling about what happened last Sunday and the team?
I wasn't feeling so great after the first drive.
Okay.
I was they learned from Baker Mayfield, just dink and dunk all the way down the field and get the ball out of your hands quick, and you can beat the secondary. So I was like, oh gosh, here we go.
I texted you that Burrow was looking clean, and you texted me like, yo, what is this?
Yeah. They might already be in trouble because they don't come from behind very well. They're not really built for that. They're built for running the ball. Their identity changed a little bit over the bye week. They decided, you know what, we have a pretty good running back and we should probably use him.
Yeah. Saquon had what, like over 100 yards?
Over 100. You never would have thought it. Like watching that game, would you have thought, Saquon had 100 yards?
It looked like one of those quiet 100 yards.
Yeah.
Where it was like, oh, snap, he does have 100 yards.
Yeah, it was like he was getting stuffed here and there, and maybe he was getting like 5 or 6 yards. It just felt like he wasn't having a great game, and then you look at the box score and he has 100 yards.
Cooper DeJean, the defense played well.
Gosh, it just
Michael played well.
It makes me so mad that Avonte Maddox was on the field for as long as he was in that nickel position.
I mean, you asked for that probably week one. Is when you asked for that. You're like, just put him in. If he fails, he fails.
His instincts have got to be better. His instincts and athleticism has got to be better than Avonte Maddox at this point.
No, I 1,000% agree on that. And you can see it on the film.
Absolutely.
And Vic Fangio is trusting him in situations to make the right play and do the right thing.
Look what he did against Jamar Chase.
I feel like that fourth down play was definitely because you saw Chase move left, move right.
Yep.
And he was right in the play to get that stop, which was a key stop in the game.
It was huge. It was a momentum shifter. It completely changed.
So
in 6 plays they had the fourth down stop. They had the Isaiah Rodgers tip to CJGJ for
which they got a turnover, which we've been asking for a turnover for a couple weeks.
And like 2 plays later, then Zach Bond punches the ball out and Nakobe Dean jumps on it. I mean, a turnover and downs, interception, fumble within 6 plays. It was just like
absolutely what
that
you're
was a knockout
for.
punch right
absolutely.
There. So,
because going into that game, I feel like it was like everybody was Chase. They were worried about Chase. They were worried about Higgins, and they knew that Burrow could do what Burrow does.
Right.
But the defense kind of just kept them at bay just enough where you were worried after the first drive. But I feel like I even texted you this, like going through the second quarter, coming out of that first half and going into the third quarter, it looked like the defense just took a breath and they were like, all right, we're gonna eliminate all the foolishness. We're gonna do what we need to do. And we're gonna be in the right places. And they got the key stops when they needed to get the key stops.
And they executed the last possession before the first half score, first possession of the second half score.
Absolutely.
They did that. What was it, 17-3 before that? And then they turned it around to 17. It was 17-0. I'm trying to remember exactly. But
absolutely.
They scored 2 touchdowns there and changed the game completely.
I think that Slay breakup where in the end zone, where Cincinnati had to kick a field goal instead of getting 6 points, kind of shifted the momentum in a way that you're like, all right, I think they're back in this game. Hurts played another clean game. How do we feel about that?
Yeah. He's taking care of the football is really all we've asked of him. I mean, he's got the talent around him that he'll be able to do well. He's a see it and throw it kind of guy. He's not going to throw people open. He's not going to do the timing routes. This was like, like Donovan McNabb back in the day.
Oh,
that
goodness.
But he didn't have any talent around him. So he was doing it all himself. And, that's where his downfall was, is that he just didn't have anybody besides that TO year. So Jalen's a similar kind of quarterback in that he sees it and throws it and has the athleticism and the arm power to get the ball out there. But yeah, it's good to have AJ back. It's good to have Devontae
back.
Yeah. And
Goddard is still on the mend, but it doesn't even seem like, I feel like Calcaterra has filled the role that they want out of the tight end. And it's not that they don't need Goddard in there, but it looks like the offense, because they're trusting the running game. We're not talking about the head coach beefing with people in the stands. And it looks like they're just doing what they're supposed to be doing. I think Jalen has a total between rushing and passing, 15 touchdowns.
He had 4 last week
by himself. All right, so clean game, and that's literally what we want. How do you feel? Like, is there anything else that you kind of want to touch on the offense or the defense? Or would you like us to move forward?
Everybody's talking about Saquon. He's got to stop going out the 1 yard line because he's getting screwed out of these touchdowns with the tush.
Anybody that's got the anytime Saquon touchdown is not feeling that when he goes out at the 1.
Yeah, exactly.
So.
Yeah. It was amazing for him to get as many yards as he did on that one play where he did tiptoe and then get out of bounds. It probably could have gone out at the 5, but he kept himself in as long as he could. But yeah, you felt for him a little bit. You almost just wanted to say, just give it to him.
Just give it to him more time. But you literally know what play's coming.
It's like written into Jalen's contract.
I'm gonna. If you go out at the
1 yard line, we're running that play. That's like his agent wrote that into just like did you see this week about speaking of his contract, did you see that he's not allowed to play golf?
He said that on his Wednesday press conference. I didn't know that. I did not know that.
He couldn't play with Obama.
No,
and
he was talking about that. He was like, "Nah, that's something that I have on my bucket list, but that's for future," or is what he kind of said. But
did he say why?
No, he didn't elaborate on it. He kind of did the Jalen thing where the main thing is the main thing.
Sure.
And I'm gonna keep that to myself because it's a private conversation.
Hurt his back by stretching it too much.
I hope not. What is he? 24?
What's the risk?
I mean, I would if I had those two people to play golf with. I'd be like, Michael Jordan had it written in his contract, love of the game, to play whenever he wanted to play ball. Yeah. So
I don't know. That one took me aback a little bit. But
no, he definitely verbalized that.
He's got golf. He can't play golf, and he has to get the ball at the 1 yard line with a tush push.
Oh.
Those are the two things written in his contract. Okay, good to know. All right.
But
no, yeah, it was great. It was actually like an enjoyable game to watch.
Yeah, and I'm not hearing the level of disdain and hate, because what do they got? 5 wins?
Yeah,
they got 5 wins. If you would have written it up at the start of the season, I thought they were going to lose to Green Bay, and I thought they were going to maybe lose to either lay an egg against Cleveland or somebody like that. So there's the 2 wins were going to be there. To me, I'm sorry, the 2 losses were going to be there regardless. And you can't really, like I said, just enjoy the wins. Sirianni did some really knucklehead stuff, which to me, I feel like after that loss, it's almost like the team, and I don't want to say they're playing for him, but they kind of just galvanized the locker room where they're like, yo, this is what we're going to do. And it doesn't matter what the outside world said, which is kind of what you want from your football team, So
yeah,
I feel positive about them. They got 5 wins this week. Who we looking at?
Jacksonville
Jaguars at a 1 o'clock or 4 o'clock game.
It was going to be an 8 o'clock game, but then it got switched because Jacksonville's not very good.
No, Jacksonville's.
I think they made that change after the Birds lost to the Bucs. They're like, oh gosh,
we're not putting this on
NBC's
NBC.
Like, we need a new game, which I don't really blame them too much. But it's a Kelly Green game, which is
we're ready for this week.
We're ready for this week. So I'm looking forward to that. Of course, Doug being back.
I think they're undefeated in those uniforms because they beat the Bills and they beat Miami last year in them. So Looking forward to another
I want
clean
them to
week.
play an NFC game. Like I want them to wear the Kelly greens and like the Giants to wear their all whites, like 90s. Like that'd be a clean game.
That would be a clean game. But I feel you.
They've been playing against the AFC in these.
They've played against
jerseys.
the AFC in each matchup. So
yeah, it's interesting. But good. It'll be good to see Doug back. I really thought he was going to get fired earlier this year because they were horrible. I mean, they still kind of are. But
word is that this is, and because I was listening to a bunch of talk radio and like TV. Like the thought is like if Doug comes in here and lays an egg in Philadelphia, like the owner could be like, all right, I've sayonara, I'll see you when I see you. But to me, to get rid of Doug Peterson when they're missing pieces on the offense and the defense, Peterson to me is a Super Bowl winning coach because he did it here. Well, for you to cut ties like that, I mean, what is Jacksonville? Is Jacksonville going to bring in Belichick? Like, who's out there that Jacksonville's going to go replace him with?
They have to get rid of the GM. Balky is horrendous.
Okay.
And Doug was like one of the only coaches that they brought in who was going to be okay with Balky staying. Like that was one of the stipulations, I think, when Doug signed with them after Urban got kicked to the curb. I mean,
Urban was terrible.
He was.
Urban was bad.
It was just, I think it's a bad roster. I mean, yes, you got the quarterback, you got some skill positions that are good.
Etienne can ball.
Yeah, but
Christian Kirk can ball.
You got no line on either side.
No
defense. You got Josh Allen. I don't know if he's still.
He might be hurt.
Or
he might be hurt.
Yeah,
he might be hurt.
But
I could be wrong about that. Leave a comment. Tell me if I'm wrong about that. But no, you're not. Yeah. You're not wrong about that. Both their offense and defensive line is suspect right now.
Yeah,
I think they're ranked 32nd in pass defense. Which, if the Eagles are looking at that, do they pass this week, or do they run the ball like they
stick to what got you here? I mean, the last 3 games. I mean, obviously Cleveland was a rough game, but they got back to the running game against New York and against Jeez, I'm losing it. Too much candy tonight.
No,
too much candy.
We're way too much candy. They played the Bengals, they played the Giants, and they played the Browns in the last 3 weeks, which are 3 wins.
Holy cow. Cincinnati. Yes. Jeez. I'm gonna blame it on jet lag. Still coming.
I mean,
back
you've been traveling from across the world. You made it back here.
Cincinnati. So the running game is really what has kept them going. So let's keep doing that. And obviously you got AJ and you got Devontae, and you can make things happen there.
I feel they should be able to ball out against the Jaguars this week. I feel like Jalen should have another clean game. It's 7 points for the line.
Yeah,
that
7.5.
means that they're. I feel like that's fair. The talk is, I've heard a couple times this week that it's a trap game, but to me, Jacksonville is bad enough where the Eagles have had that letdown game. This shouldn't be a letdown game against Jacksonville with Doug Peterson coming in there. How you feel about that?
No, wearing the Kelly Greens. I don't know how you can.
They should not.
You can't have a trap game wearing the Kelly Greens. But who's after this? Baltimore or Dallas?
Dallas.
I think it's Dallas.
Dallas.
Yeah.
So could they be looking at Dallas?
That's what I usually think with a trap game.
All right.
You're looking ahead too much.
Okay.
And maybe, but I don't know. I think they've gotten back to the mantra of we're going to go 1-0 this week.
Yes.
They've gotten back to the basics of what Sirianni did in 22 and like just get 1% better every day.
The main thing is the
main thing. And we want to know
control
this
the controllables,
exactly, all that crap. But
all the leadership book stuff.
Exactly.
I read this in a magazine. No,
but yeah, it should be a good game. You would expect them to win. I don't want it. I hope it's not too close of a game. They should win handily.
So let me ask you this, because I always ask you this. If it's a 3-point win versus,
that's fine. Like I don't care. Anyway,
me and you are on the same page with that. Then
win is a win.
A win is a win. I don't care how. I don't care if they win by a quarter of a point.
Yeah.
So okay.
Yeah. So actually, going back to last week, it was one of their best wins. It's actually was one of their better wins from an EPA, expected points added, I believe is what that stands for. Like EPA per play was better last week than it was for any game in the last 2 years.
I saw that. You're absolutely right about that. You're absolutely right.
Yeah, just an incredible stat.
A clean win.
Yeah.
It was a clean win.
So let's hope for another one of those against Jacksonville. And then we can worry about Dallas after that.
Absolutely. Yeah. Absolutely. What do we around the NFL? How do we feel? Who are we concerned about? Because we're end of October, it's Halloween, so you're transitioning. You've basically finished the first half of you know what I mean, and you're transitioning into Thanksgiving, Christmas, and the playoffs. Like, how do we feel about other teams? Like, who do you think is a threat?
NFC is kind of wide open at this point. You got the Lions, who are probably the class of the NFC right now.
Lions look tough. Niners had a solid win, even though they beat the trash Cowboys.
But they're still 4-3 or 3-4?
I think they're 4-3 is what the Niners are.
So I don't know. And without McCaffrey, you just never know. The defense, the Dallas defense hasn't been playing well at all.
No. And their run game's not playing well. Yeah. And then they got Trayvon Diggs beefing with reporters after the game, telling them that they're trash for tweeting. Yo, these new age athletes, man. Yeah. Then let me be quiet.
I don't know. But yeah, Washington last week was rough. Oh my gosh. I was watching the game, like putting the kids to bed, but then like sneaking off to
half
see,
looking at what's going on,
watching the game, but half putting them to bed, and like and then I saw the Hail Mary, and was like, "This, you've got to be kidding me!" I was so ready to be like, "All right, first place!" Like,
what was the name of the DB that was taunting
Stevenson?
Yo,
that guy. I love all the memes that have come out from it. Yo, that was great. Content.
He got dragged. He got dragged in film session this week.
Oh yeah,
because I feel like that was instant life karma though. The taunting of the crowd, the crowd pointing him to be like, "Yo, the play's coming this way," and then he tips the ball, and it
right
ends up in the receiver's hands. That's instant life karma.
Yeah,
is what that was.
But he wasn't. So that was his job though, at least
he
was the one that was supposed to be batting it down. He misjudged it a little bit. There's nobody in the savior role, as they say. You know, you saw it a couple times on TV this week. NFL Live. They broke it down as far as there's supposed to be a DB back there in the end zone to block anything from that last receiver being able to from that happening, and there's nobody there.
No,
either Kevin Byard jumped up. And it should have been him, or there was somebody else that should have been.
It was
back
between
there.
him and Byard, who was supposed to be in that role, and they both failed.
Exactly, it was just a perfect storm.
So, are we worried about Washington?
Yeah, I mean they're going to be.
Because they still got 2 games against them. They still got 2 games against them, so it's going to come down to between them and Washington. Are we worried about the Cowboys anymore, or we'll see? Take care of Jacksonville, focus on Dallas next week.
Yeah, but if you look ahead, I mean, where's the game? Is it in Philly?
No,
the first game
it's at Dallas.
It's in Dallas.
At Dallas.
Okay. And they usually play well at home. I mean, this year, not so much. But, it's always a toss-up when you're playing in Dallas. So, I don't know. We'll obviously look into that a little bit more next week, but
are the Chiefs going to lose a game is my next question. Because they're what, 7-0?
7-0, and they just keep finding ways to win.
I looked at the Chiefs' schedule, man, and I'm trying to see a loss. And I hate to say this, I don't see a loss on their schedule. Which, if they do the thing that the Patriots did, you know, what was it, when did the Patriots go into 2012?
2007.
Okay, no, you're right. It is 07. So if the Chiefs do that and lose in the Super Bowl, thumbs up. It's what I would want.
Yeah, to the birds. That'd be great.
It's what I would. It's what I'd be wanting to. Or I think Lamar and the Ravens are balling out with Henry. I would want the Ravens to upset them. Is what I would want. Okay. So, but
see, they got to show up in the playoffs for once.
Yeah. Lamar's got to do his job.
Exactly.
So,
it just seems. I said this a couple weeks ago, but it just seems like a lot of mediocre teams and bad teams. There doesn't really seem to be obviously Kansas City and Detroit are separating themselves, but after that, Minnesota,
it's Green Bay, Minnesota.
Yeah, I mean, you just don't have those few elite teams you know are going to be the last four or whatever.
No, I know, I understand exactly what you mean by
the
that.
Birds are, 7th in playoff standings right now because
Correct.
the Commanders are, a half game ahead of them?
Yep.
So, yeah, I don't know how it's all going to shake out, but the Eagles still have a decent schedule as far as strength
and
of
they
schedule.
can control, just keep winning games. Keep winning games, play good defense. Jalen, I'm taking Jalen no turnovers again this week is what I'm taking because it's worked the last 3 weeks.
The odds are not on your favor there, but but like you said, the Jaguars don't force too many turnovers.
Oh goodness, we're something to knock on, man.
We don't have any wood around here. Yeah.
Oh my God.
But yeah, we'll see. We will see.
So so what's next on the table this week?
Well, we have to talk about the Sixers.
Do we have to talk about the Sixers?
I think we do.
All right, we can talk about the Sixers.
A lot of drama surrounding
what
Embiid.
Drama? No, what drama?
No, not around this team. I mean,
Embiid's playing, right? He's healthy.
I don't know. Let's check with Shams Charania.
Shams. I need a Sham bomb.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh Lord! All right, let's dig into this.
We keep joking. I'm still in my ramp up period. I'm gonna tell my boss I'm in my ramp up period. Can't quite do it today.
I'm gonna ramp up so I can get to work on Monday morning. Is what I'm gonna try to do. I cannot stand that word. I cannot stand that word. I feel like the Sixers are doing a disservice to the public, to the paying customer, and I feel like if Embiid was hurt, was he hurt? Like, can I ask that question? Is something wrong with the knee, or we just don't know? We don't know. We just don't know.
Played in the Olympics, and then we haven't seen him since.
No. And then how many weeks is it from the Olympics to opening day?
But I think it was 9 weeks. Everybody else who played in the Olympics is
balling right now.
So it's not like, in European soccer, you got those guys who play if the Euros are that summer or if it's the World Cup, those guys get an extra few weeks or a month.
They get about a month.
Yeah.
They get about a month.
And so they don't have to come back to training until mid-August or whatever, and they ramp up through the end of August.
Oh, there's that ramp up
again. But they do it. They do it.
I gotta ramp up.
So you miss those guys for a little bit, and then they come back and play. But you didn't. That wasn't the plan. Like, nobody said that was going to happen.
They said that 48 hours before the season started is what they said, which is why I think the Sixers, the paying season ticket holder for the Sixers should not go to games. Because to me, you're discrediting the product, you're misleading your fans, and you're kind of just, Embiid is just like, I mean, he came out, and I said this to you, he came out and was like, yo, I'm not playing back-to-backs anymore. Like, come on, man. I'm not saying you got to be a 90s athlete where, they were playing 82 games and just, punching each other in the face and, bully ball and stuff like that. Mm-hmm. But to me, that's unacceptable from the Sixers is how I feel. Yeah. I mean, how do we feel about, like, how many games do you think Embiid plays this year? And I know you've kind of joked with me about this. We're gonna take the over/under. Like, is it like plus money for how many games?
I only joke about 25. I only joke about how many he's gonna play, which I still think is 19.5. That's the over/under.
He's got back soreness, lower back soreness.
Embiid, I don't joke about Embiid because
I wish I could get paid to just watch basketball. I'm joking.
Yeah, you get courtside seats. You get paid to watch
basketball.
Yeah, it's great. It's great.
How many games Embiid played this season if he's not playing them back to back?
I was telling you, we should take the average of how many he's missed over the last
5 or 6 seasons.
Years. And then he should sit out that many to start the season, and then
he'll make it.
Logic dictates that he'll make it the rest of the year. It's like that thinking man meme where he's
get
like,
out of here
can't
with
miss
that math. That math don't math. That math ain't mathing. Throw that math in the garbage because there's literally Philadelphia sports karma would be like he gets through that window and something, whether he would slip on a banana peel, whether he would eat a bad chicken nugget.
Right.
Like,
Exactly.
you know what I'm saying? But how do we feel about, because George is still out? Is George playing this week? Or actually, they had a terrible loss last night. It's what, Thursday night? We talked about that. Losing to the Pistons. Boo.
Oh, yeah. I turned that off. I turned that off in the second quarter.
That's trash.
I could see it just.
I don't even think you texted me at all.
No.
Okay.
It was.
You turned it off.
I turned it off. It was. I think they went up by like 11 or 12, and I was like, yeah, I can see this just unraveling.
Tobias had 15 rebounds and like 18 points, or it might be backwards.
You knew he was going to do.
He was coming the ball out.
Absolutely.
His dad brought all the Krispy Kremes. Is what I saw.
If he played that hard at all when he was here, that
if he played that hard in one of them games against the Knicks, we would have been in the Eastern Conference Finals. Yeah. But I don't care. Tobias, you get your money, man. I'm not mad at Tobias.
No.
I think Paul is Paul George playing this week? I don't even know. I don't even know.
I mean, he hurt himself in preseason.
Hyperextended his knee.
Yeah, I'm not mad at him. It's Embiid that I just
annoyed.
Like, set expectations. We didn't have any idea this was happening.
I don't even think we had expectations because,
but like, at least say something.
Okay,
like come out and say something like we're gonna ramp him up or something.
Oh, the ramp up.
But at least say it. Now it's like we all thought he was going to make his debut in the season opener.
In the season opener.
And then it's
24
a week later, and we're just like, wait a second.
What's going on? And I saw some crazy report, and I hope this is wrong, and I sent it to you. I was like, that there's structural damage, or he might be concerned. It was on Fox this afternoon, and I'm like, what? If that is the case, this Sixer, literally people are going to check out and be like, I am done with this. I'm not, because they're what do they got? Maxey?
Yeah.
And we've seen what Maxey is. Maxey wants to do 150%, but you need Embiid. You need George. Mm-hmm. And how do we feel about the supporting cast that's there right now? Is it too early to judge? Because it's only 4 games.
It's only 4 games, but the games they've lost have been against bad teams.
All right.
So,
all right.
I mean, the Pistons aren't a good team. Cade Cunningham is decent, and that's it.
Pistons won 94 games in the last 4 years. I looked it up. I was like, how many games did they? Oh, 94. Yeah. I was like, I felt when I looked at that box score and they were down 21 points at one point, I was like, yo, this is a joke.
Yeah.
This is a joke, man. And granted, I'm not doing the overreaction because it's only October 31st. NBA season for me doesn't start until December 25th, which is Christmas Day.
Okay.
But
I'm not going to pass judgment until Embiid and
George are back on the court.
He's not going to do it himself. I mean, he's been shooting horribly. He's like 31% for the season.
But the thing is that I noticed though, when other teams game plan for your one best player, it looks like, they're like, you ain't scoring tonight.
Yeah.
And you can see that. Like, he's trying his best, but the refs, Maxey's still not at that level where I think he's elite, but the refs are still like, you're not getting that call, buddy. Yeah. He needs maybe All-Star break, maybe, playoffs where they're like, all right, you're balling out of control, but they're still not giving him that call yet.
Yeah.
So we're going to be positive.
Yeah. I mean, the guys that are getting so many minutes, that won't happen when you've got Embiid and George back. So
absolutely.
There'll be a supporting cast instead of starters then,
Absolutely.
But shooting hasn't been great. That's been the biggest problem so far. And, even though they've played some bad teams and probably could have gotten some wins, just
it is what it is. It's early. So we're gonna be Sixers. Stop lying to your fan base. Embiid, show up to work and play.
Yeah, show up to work.
Do your job.
Don't swing the towel around when people are shooting free throws and get a $100K fine.
Do your job.
Yeah.
Jeez. So are we gonna put the Sixers to bed?
I think so.
All right. Okay.
I think we can move on to the most valuable hater.
This segment is brought to you by Jambuck Apparel Company. They believe that looking good should never mean sacrificing comfort. Their collection features fits designed specifically for the modern man. Whether you're lounging at home, hitting the gym, or heading out for a casual night, Their versatile pieces have got you covered. Visit jambuckapparel.com to inquire about their new arrivals.
Don't be like this guy. It's time to call out our most valuable hater of the week.
I absolutely got a most valuable hater this week. And this was, I watched a little bit of the World Series, and there was a play in the World Series that made me go, if this happened in Philadelphia, Philadelphia would be crucified and thrown in the garbage. Mookie Betts, a ball was hit into the outfield. Was it 2 nights ago or a night ago? Yeah, and a fan grabbed his arm. Them two dudes that were sitting in, you are both my most valuable haters. If you got friends, wait, I think Gronkowski's your friend. Tell somebody to text me or at me, leave a comment, tell me that we're garbage, but you are terrible, and that's a hater move. You know, like, you can't interfere. I get it. You probably paid what? $1,000 for that seat?
At least.
All right, I'm going to be nice.
I looked it up the next day, and they were going for like $2,500 a piece.
All right, I was going to be nice and say it's $500, but I know it's not $500 for that seat.
New Yankee Stadium? Jeez, no.
Just don't be a weirdo, man. Leave the people alone and let the players play. Like, that's my hater of the week. Them two weirdos, Gronk's boys, because he owned it and said, I know the dude. He played ice hockey with him. Yo, get out of here. All right.
Can you imagine if that happened here?
Yo, I said to you, if that was Philadelphia, that would be on CNN, ESPN, Fox.
You try to kick the Phillies out of the league.
They would. And I heard they kicked him out of the game and let him come back in.
What?
Yeah, yo.
No.
I'm telling you. I hope I'm wrong. But nah, you can't do that. I don't care how much you pay for that seat, man. And he tried to say that anything to help his team win. That's not helping your team win. All right? You're being a nuisance. Knock it off. So
unbelievable.
All right. So that's enough for the most valuable. Stop. Right. Leave the players alone, man. Let them do their job. You know, don't pour popcorn on them. Somebody did that to Westbrook when he came here. Don't throw batteries at people. They did that in the vet.
Oh, gosh.
You know, okay?
I went to the next game after that happened.
Don't throw hot dogs at people at Dollar Dog Night.
Man. I was at the next.
Be an adult.
The next game after that JD Drew battery game.
Right?
My dad took me to the game the next night, and all I could think about was people throwing their D batteries at JD.
Yo, just stop. There's no need for that kind of like unhinged. Why? Yeah. All right.
This segment is presented by Mountney. Looking to elevate your e-commerce business? Discover Mountney.com, your premier partner in fulfillment solutions in 3PL services. Our seamless integration of print-on-demand and third-party logistics ensures your products are managed and delivered with precision. Trust Mountney to handle the details so you can focus on growing your brand. Visit
Drafting the best of the best. Here's this week's Podium.
So this week's Podium. What are we gonna do? Late night snacks, I think.
Oh,
just thinking about. We had a food one earlier this season when we talked about the game day foods,
right?
And I said charcuterie board, which I've had a couple since then.
Yo, man,
my wife loves.
I got the friends
the meats
that
and the cheeses.
I got the friends that like the charcuterie board. I will prefer something else. I'm not gonna hate on it. It is. It works. I've seen them at the stadium. Yeah. I was like, oh, the charcuterie board is a thing.
Okay, that's
if
the
you're
next
pulling
level.
that out at the stadium.
That's the next level. That's not me. I wouldn't be pulling it out.
I was like, oh.
I see parents who send the charcuterie boards with their kids to at lunchtime, like meats and cheeses and crackers.
All right, I'm not that parent.
Me.
My wife might do that.
No, it's PB&J, and that's what you're getting.
Get out of here, kids! Scram.
All right, so late night snacks, like when you're you're up late watching a game or whatever, and you just have that craving for something.
All right, you go first then. I can go.
All right. And TV advertising doesn't do us any favors with this stuff.
For real?
So the other night I was what was I watching, the Sunday night game?
Yeah.
I think it was that. And like a Pizza Hut commercial came on or something, and I was like, oh man, I could really like a pizza sounds great right now.
Right.
You know?
And is this at like 9:30 or like
yeah, something like
is it
that.
like midnight?
So I go downstairs. No, it was like, I don't know, second quarter.
Okay. So this
I
is
go
like
downstairs.
8:30, 10.
I'm not going to order one. So I go downstairs and I look for a frozen pizza. We don't have any frozen pizzas in the freezer. Can you believe that?
What?
Yeah.
You got to have at least one.
Yeah.
There's always one.
We usually keep a
There's
bunch.
always one.
So then I ordered it.
Oh, you had to, yo, I need this.
And shout out to my wife. She went and got it so I wouldn't miss any of the game.
Yo.
Yeah.
All right.
Huge.
That is a solid.
Yes.
That's 4 thumbs all the way up.
Absolutely.
So what's your first choice?
Pizza.
All right, a pizza. Okay, my first choice, late night. Late night would probably be, I hate to say this, popcorn.
It's a good one.
It is. It's a go-to. Whether it's basketball, football, a movie, late night I'll throw some popcorn in, microwave and call it a night. Is what I will do. What's your next one?
Yeah.
Hate to put you on the spot.
Yeah, no, I've been so I really like the thick pretzel rods, but I make this sesame honey mustard.
Okay.
Like I make it out of honey and spicy mustard and sesame seeds.
Okay.
And so I like make my own dip.
Nice.
I've been trying to find one like that, but I just make my own dip, and that's a. So I do the pretzel rods. I do the Dots pretzels. You ever have the Dots pretzels?
I have.
Oh,
I
yeah.
have.
Those are good too. So yeah.
All right. My second choice, I have a bad sweet tooth. I will do a bag of gummies.
Yes. What specifically? Like, what's your
sour ones,
Okay.
the worms?
Okay.
It doesn't I have a bad sweet tooth. It's not rubbed off on any of my. My wife doesn't have a sweet tooth like
good.
that.
That's good.
So
I was digging into some Swedish fish today.
Yeah,
just like
the Swedish fish.
digging in. I was like, man, I gotta stop because tonight's Halloween. Like, why am
let's
eating all
not
the
talk
candy
about
now?
the candy.
Oh,
We got
gosh.
enough of that.
We dumped it all on the counter when we got back. Oh my gosh!
Yeah,
it just took up the whole counter.
No, I feel you.
And then the kids organized it all.
I feel like we made out tonight
chocolate.
with the candy.
And then we were just gonna do chocolate and gummies, and then the toys, like the little whatever they got as far as the rings and whatnot.
Yeah.
But then they did like Skittles, Starburst, like they organized it all down to the kind.
Oh, nice.
Why? We're just gonna throw it right back into a bucket. Like what? What was the point of that?
Hey, listen, I'm not gonna knock the organization. If they're trying to organize stuff at that age, I'm like, all right,
Yeah, sure.
I'm just gonna rip it open and eat it.
Yeah,
So.
my daughter does love. She always loved to organize by color. Like all of her markers are all completely organized.
Okay.
Like color of the rainbow. Like she knew all the rainbow colors and how they all go. Like, yeah, it was funny. We were talking tonight at dinner about, like how much like that personality types and what you got from like mom versus dad.
Right.
And I was like, you got like 95% of everything from your mom because she likes to organize. She's like she's super
That's my wife.
competitive as far as
that's
like
my wife.
Like I can get competitive when we're playing a game, but that's it. Like that's like my daughter and my wife will compete on everything.
You're like, I gotta get to the bathroom.
Yeah, exactly.
You're like, no, it's not that deep.
Oh my goodness. And yeah, definitely just go getters. They're they'll never stop until they hit their
Complete the
goal.
test,
And then there's my son who's just like me, who's like, yeah,
I'm good.
Just chilling here. What do I get for this? Oh, not that much. Okay, I'm just gonna chill.
I'm good. I'm good right here.
Constantly just calculating the ROI in his head. Like, what's the return on my effort here? Yeah,
I'm good.
Yeah.
I'm good on this. This is enough effort here.
Very funny. Very funny.
So,
I was gonna go candy, like you did.
which candy are you gonna go to?
But yeah, I think you already said the sweets, so I don't think I can.
You can.
I can take that.
You can. I'm not. It is what it is.
No, I'll go with ice cream.
Ooh.
All
right. Ice cream.
I like Tin Roof Sundae, a black raspberry, cookies and cream.
Definitely.
Yeah,
definitely.
Those are my go-tos usually.
All right. So my third choice, probably some nachos. is what I would whip up.
So do you like you whip up nachos?
My wife does.
Okay.
I'm not. I got to give her the credit for the nachos.
And what do you usually do? I think we talked about this during the game day snacks, but do you do like a ground beef or a chicken or some kind of meat?
Beef, turkey, chicken,
Okay.
pretty much all the above.
Yeah.
And she does a great job with it. And I'll pick at it. I don't have a problem with it. So those would be my number one, though, is definitely the popcorn and the candy for late night, which I'm terrible with.
It's not a ton of effort.
Or actually bad, which would be like a runner up for me, would be like some cashews.
Okay.
Is what I would do. So
cashews are good. Yeah. Not bad. All right. So what's our hot seat this week?
This segment is presented by Height Hype. Are you ready to elevate your game? Their Height Track posters are designed to measure your growth side by side with your favorite college athletes, making them perfect for young athletes aiming for the next level. Join the Height Hype community today and start your journey to greatness at heighthype.com.
Get ready for some fire. Here's the hot seat.
I think we wanted to talk about the
Who we
LeBron and Bronny.
Why are we talking about Brian and Bronny? Why?
I don't know, Dane. You were the hater.
What?
I could have made you my most valuable hater of
real?
last week.
How am I hating?
You're just hating on the Bronny and LeBron check-in at the same time.
All right. Okay. All right. Can I can I address this?
Yes, please.
All right. I am all for LeBron James's, accolades, his body of work. I just feel like the fact that you forced or made sure that your son, which any parent would do this if they were in a position of power like LeBron James, to get his son on an NBA roster, when did he really earn that spot on that roster? Because LeBron will tell you that everything needs to be earned, but did Bronny earn that spot? Okay. So the fact that they brought Ken Griffey Jr. and Ken Griffey Sr. for that moment, Ken Griffey Jr. worked his way from the minor leagues up to the MLB. Ken Griffey Sr. was great at his job. Those two had to work and put in time to get to that moment. LeBron James hit fast forward and was like, come on, Bronny. Hey, if you want to call me a hater, call me a hater. Tell me out, but I feel like that took away from the actual body of work that you needed to put in for Bronny to get to the NBA and be on an NBA roster. Tell me I'm wrong.
No, you're right. You're right.
You don't have to agree with me.
I'm not. No, I agree with you.
Okay.
Wholeheartedly. It was the moment that I thought was cool. I get.
Okay.
I get that. Yes, he probably didn't earn it. He's going to the G League now, right?
Right.
So he didn't really earn it, but I just thought it was cool. I mean, having a son and could you imagine being able to check into a professional game with your kid?
Wayne, I 1,000% agree with you. That is a next level, once in a lifetime dream moment that any parent, if you had that opportunity, you would take that. But then for you to be on the opposite end and be like, yo, everything's earned. You gotta put in the body of work. That's to me,
it doesn't add up. Yeah.
To me, it cheated the moment a little bit. Yeah. And if you want to call me a hater, then you can call me a hater on that one. Yes, I nominate myself. All right, hater of the week, Bronny. You didn't earn it.
No, I agree with that part. I just and I don't even like LeBron. I have never been a LeBron fan. So
if you could put on, say, like your greatest of greats, is it LeBron? Is it Kobe? Is it MJ? Like, who's the athlete that you're like, all right, this person? Because the younger generation will say to you, yo, it's LeBron. They don't even, I feel like the younger generation doesn't even acknowledge Michael Jordan's body of work. And that to me is kind of like, what?
Who scared me to death? Like, that's what I use as my
your barometer.
My barometer, my rubric, whatever you want to call it. Like, Michael Jordan was just like, you knew he was going to get it done.
He was going to be a problem.
Yeah. And then Kobe. Like, I hated watching those Lakers teams.
I did.
Like Kobe was gonna hit a dagger.
He was gonna give you the business.
Absolutely. Obviously, he had Shaq with him, but yeah, he was incredible.
He was gonna give you the
LeBron,
business.
It doesn't terrify me like those guys did.
No.
It doesn't. The ball in his hands. You know, he's never that great of a shooter. Yeah, he's crazy good athlete.
Now somebody's gonna tell you that you're crazy that he's not that great of a shooter.
I mean, okay, sure.
Hater.
He had that great block in 2016.
That was an all-time great block.
So,
all-time great block.
Clutch play, but I don't know.
So, but Bronny didn't earn it, and call me whatever you want to call me. So, how do we?
I agree with you like that. I'm not trying to call you a hater for that. It was
all right.
It was more just the moment than anything. Like
I got you.
Outside of all of that, if you just wipe that clean of how he got there, it was just really neat for them to
absolutely
to check in together to the game.
Absolutely, I agree with you on that. So do we have anything else on the table for this week? Or I mean, I feel like I feel good about this episode 10.
I'm gonna go eat some candy.
I'm gonna go eat some candy. I'm gonna go whip up a late night snack.
You gotta take the dad tax out of the kids' candy. They gotta learn about taxes. That's what I say this every Halloween.
Yo,
you're gonna learn about taxes today. That's what you're gonna learn about. Government takes 20, 30, whatever it is.
20, 30%. Yeah, they do.
So,
jeez.
Yep.
But
you're gonna learn early.
No, I appreciate this, Wayne. I had a blast. Episode 10 in the books. And go Birds.
Go Birds.
And yeah, we look forward to seeing you next week. We're not going to take any. Are we going to take a hiatus next week? No more.
All right. No more hiatus. What's the plural of hiatus? Hiati.
Go Birds.
Go Birds.